The study of evolution is not complete without considering how the first form of life came into being. The unicellular organism cyanobacteria, or blue-green algae, was the first form of life on Earth around 2,000 million years ago. However, we still don't know how the organic molecules, which are the main building blocks of life, evolved into unicellular organisms. Probably some of these cells, for example cyanobacteria, could oxygenate the atmosphere, thereby making way for other life forms to evolve. The reaction for the release of oxygen might have been similar to the light reaction during photosynthesis in plants. During photosynthesis, the sun's energy helps to split water, resulting in the release of electrons that are channelized further by light-harvesting pigments. This reaction ends in the formation of carbohydrates and the release of oxygen. Gradually, Protistis developed and slowly evolved into multicellular life forms. Let's look at the geological timescale to understand which different events occurred at what time in the history of the Earth. The geologic timescale is divided into two eons, Precambrian and Phanerozoic. The Precambrian eon is divided into Hadean, Archean and Proterozoic eras, while the Phanerozoic eon is divided into Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic eras. Different life forms evolved in the three eras of the Phanerozoic eon. The Paleozoic era spans from around 540 or 570 million years ago to about 248 million years ago. It is divided into 6 periods, which are the Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous and Permian. In the Cambrian period, plant life consisted of primitive algae and seaweeds, while animal life consisted of invertebrates such as sponges, starfish and sea urchins. In the Ordovician and Silurian periods, true plants with a stem, leaves and roots developed. At the same time, there was an increase in the population of animals such as sea lilies, mollusks and sea scorpions. The Ordovician period also marked the evolution of the first vertebrate, the jawless fish, around 350 million years ago. For example, Cephalaspis and Hemicyclaspis. Next came the Devonian period, in which plants grew in profusion and covered a large part of the. This period also witnessed a rapid evolution of fish such as sharks and rays. About 300 million years ago, in the Carboniferous period, pteridophytes such as ferns and horsetails dominated the earth. They were the first trees that thrived in vast swamps that stretched across the length and breadth of the planet. Over the years, these pteridophytes fell down and formed coal deposits. Meanwhile, in the Carboniferous period, around 350 million years ago, there were also fish with stout and strong fins who could move equally well on land as well as in water. These were called lungfish. For example, Neoceratodus, and Protopterus. Another important fish of this period were the lobe finfish, which later evolved as amphibians. Coelacanth is a lobe finfish which was thought to be extinct earlier but is now considered a living fossil. In times of water shortage, lobe finfish probably made their way onto land and might have added insects and other arthropods to their diet. Modern-day descendants of lobe finfish are frogs and salamanders. The last period of the Paleozoic era was the Permian period, in which amphibians evolved into reptiles. They laid eggs with harder shells that were able to sustain their own water and did not get dehydrated in the absence of water. Thus, reptiles became the first animals to successfully lay eggs on land and are known to be first terrestrial animals. In fact, for reptiles, water was no longer a source of life, but a food source that provided hydration as well. Over millions of years, reptiles evolved into different orders. Each of these orders developed different characteristics which helped them survive in various environments. Today, there are 4 orders of class Reptilia. The first order is Chelonia, which includes turtles and tortoise. The second order, Rhynchocephalia, includes Tuatara. The third order, Squamata, includes lizards and snakes, while the fourth order, Crocodilian, includes crocodiles and alligators. Meanwhile, the plants that existed during the Permian age were ferns. Let us now take a look at the Mesozoic era, which extends from 245 or 248 million years ago to 65 million years ago. This era includes the Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous periods. In the Mesozoic era, around 200 million years ago, some land reptiles went into the water and evolved as fish-like reptiles. For example, Ichthyosaurus. Meanwhile, the land reptiles of the Mesozoic era were the famous dinosaurs with terrifying large teeth. They were a diverse group of reptiles which remained the most important terrestrial vertebrates for more than 160 million years. The tallest dinosaur, known as Tyrannosaurus rex, was around 20 feet tall. Fossils of T-Rex are found in a variety of rock formations. Dinosaurs suddenly disappeared 65 million years ago. They probably became extinct because they failed to cope with climatic changes, or they may have evolved into birds. However, the precise reason for their extinction still remains unknown. It is estimated that birds have descended from reptilian ancestors such as Ornithischian dinosaurs during the Jurassic period of the Mesozoic era. In fact, birds became modernized in the Cretaceous period of the Mesozoic era. The flora in the Mesozoic era was dominated by flowering plants and non-flowering plants such as ferns, pines, conifers, and cycads. Let us now take a look at the Cenozoic era, which began 65 million years ago and continues till today. This era includes the Tertiary and Quaternary periods. In the Cenozoic era, plants such as bryophytes and angiosperms flourished and continued to spread and diversify on Earth. This era is also known as the Age of Mammals, which are highly evolved vertebrates. They have a backbone which encloses a network of nerves which leads to a brain contained in a skull. Fossil evidence shows that the first mammals were like shrews. Mammals are characterized by viviparity. That is, they give birth to young ones, have mammary glands, and the unborn young are protected inside the mother's body. The evolution of mammals was a slow process that spanned across 70 million years. Mammals were more intelligent in sensing and avoiding danger. In South America, there were mammals resembling the present-day horse, hippopotamus, bear, and rabbit. Due to continental drift in ancient times, land masses broke apart and consequently the landmass of South America joined North America. As a result, South American mammals were overridden by North American mammals. Continental drift also caused the safe development of the Australian marsupials. Meanwhile, there were mammals which evolved in water, such as whales, dolphins, seals, and sea cows. However, the most successful evolution story was that of human beings, as they developed language skills and self-consciousness as well.